Hello. Um, I'm trying to put words to what I'm experiencing right now in my journey. I feel like I've stumbled upon like a new phase in my journey, and um, I don't know, I just want to share a bit more about it. Like if I broke up the journey of a narcissist into phases, I'd first have to split it between being awake and then being asleep. And in the time that you're asleep, I would call like the developing a monster phase, and then it turns into like the actual monster phase, where narcissists are monsters. They're so self focused and they end up hurting people all around them. And at this point, there's a brief moment of waking up to that narcissism. And then I think there's the choice to either be absolutely evil and to continue doing things that you know are wrong, or to try and fix it. I believe that most people try to fix it or they try not to wake up to begin with. And because I think anyone who continues to be creating that much pain and is knowingly doing it is like some sort of evil. There's a special place in hell for that person. And after you wake up, you have the choice to begin healing. And that's where I've been for quite a while, just focusing on like releasing shame, loving myself, on learning empathy. And I feel like I kind of ended that chapter with my ayahuasca journey. And my focus since then has really been on this new phase, which I'll call restitution. And it's not to say I'm perfect. I'd probably say I'm more like an alcoholic that could slip into tendencies, but I truly feel a shift in my heart. I'll be talking to people and they'll say something that happened to them, and like I feel pain in my heart for them, and I might argue that in a lot of situations I'm actually having more empathy than the average person. At least that's been my experience recently. Maybe that changes over time, but I'm noticing that there's just a fundamental shift in my heart that has me thinking about other people and caring about other people in my life. Um, and, coming out of my ayahuasca journey, I really felt the importance of just saying sorry to people. And so I've written like 5 or 6 letters. I've sat down and had lunches and just sat down with all the people in my family that I've hurt. And I also with my ex wife and with her husband. And um, at first this was like quite painful because it was like I was having to lean into just how messed up I was. And now I feel like I just own it. Like it doesn't hurt me anymore. It's just like what it was. I don't carry it with shame, and I'm just more focused on trying to fix the mess that I created. And that feels really really good. It feels really good. Um and I've just been thinking a lot about restitution. This came up in my support groups, one of the support groups that I host, uh, how a lot of people who are on this healing path, narcissists, have felt the switch in have felt a change, but they feel like they're getting no credit from it. And that's a really hard place to heal in, but it's kind of just par for the course. If you've hurt someone for 15 or 10 years and then you have some change of heart, it's like a monster that still has horns and fangs and claws and all the things, but their heart's changed. And it's like it's going to take a minute for the fangs to fall off and for all of that change to happen. And I think that that's how you get to full restitution. It's how you can take off the horns, is that you actually fix the problems that you created. And so, and I think that, you know, narcissists have to have so much empathy for the people that they've hurt. To think that after 10 years of hurting someone, I can just write a letter that and it's all going to go away, is kind of naive. But it's what we want. And I think that how as a narcissist that you've hit like a new level of healing is that you're less preoccupied with how you feel about the situation or about how they're making you feel through the process of fixing things, and you're more concerned with how they feel. Am I actually making them feel better? And those can be hard habits to break, but um, it's not just hard habits to break. It's hard for other people to see you as a different person. And if I truly have empathy for those people, then I need to be able to give them the space that they need to heal themselves. It's not kind of me to say, well, I'm different now, and so you got to be nice to me. The kind thing is to recognize I hurt you, and this apology is the beginning of healing between us, not the end. Like, we are just barely starting a journey, not completing a journey. And that's, I think, the energy that I'm trying to bring into this. And I think I do still feel like shame, and I feel bad. It's just sad. Like, it's sad to look back, and as I'm writing these letters, to look at like all the hurt that I've caused, cheating on my ex-wife, making her feel unseen and making her feel so unloved that I turned her into a monster. And she was not nice to me and made some mistakes. And it's just sad, honestly, to be in this phase. And I think that there's an element of solemnness that needs to exist in this restitution phase, because we need to fully feel the pain that we've created if we want to truly build empathy and if we want to make sure that we don't do it again. So I've been kind of just welcoming this pain and welcoming the sadness, and because I know that pain and sadness have the ability to convert a heart, to transform it into a more empathetic and loving one. And it's my inability to let that pain in for so long that has caused me to be a narcissist and be so unempathetic for so long. So, yeah, just to catch up on like ayahuasca, I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since my ayahuasca journeys. And I feel like in my last video, I was maybe a little too gung ho on just the transformation, because you come back and it's really easy to get into old patterns. There's certain parts of me that I feel were completely shifted. And then I noticed some regression, and I had to like try and like build the new pathway and try to forgive myself more, try to trust other people more. Those are kind of the two main pathways. And I'm noticing opportunities to do it, and I'm just leaning into the new mental pathway that I want. And I think psychedelics are extremely powerful. And the way that I like to think of it is like, psychedelics don't just fix all your problems, but they will show you what you have to become, or they will show you what you need to do, and then you come off of the psychedelic, and now you've got to walk the path. You've got to do the thing. For me, in both of my kind of key journeys, it was almost like it blew a new mental pathway, almost like when you walk in the woods and you have to walk it 1,000 times before it's like completely clear and easy to go on. But it was like I blew through it. I like did quite a bit of damage. I went through with like a Tasmanian devil, just cut a path. And it was a strong first cut, but it's really easy to go back to those old pathways. And I still had to do the work coming back of, building that. And so I do still feel a really significant change. I think saying that I've completely swapped out my body for a new body and my brain for a new brain was a little excessive in my last update, I will admit. But I do feel that I am consistently trusting and accepting my mistakes better than I've ever done. And I do feel a level of peace that is maybe 50% more than I used to experience on a regular basis, both in my body, where I would hold a lot of tightness, and in my mind. Like, it's actually bizarre to me. We had some friends over the other day, and I was just listening to them. I was just looking at them and listening without trying to think of what I needed to do or think of a project or think of how I could look cool and step in. And I mean, I feel like I've been seeing this progress for a while, but it was like, I still had to like fight the urge a little bit. Like I'd catch my mind being like, trying to think about something usually has to do with me and trying to really focus on this person. I'm trying to like give them the gift of my attention, give them my love in that way. And now it's been a lot easier. It's just kind of like crickets in there, which feels really good to someone who has been raised with ADHD and always struggled with a very disrupted mind. In fact, I've had this thought for a while now because the longer I've been working on my narcissism, the more I've noticed that my ADHD symptoms go away. And in fact, I also noticed that the most of my ADHD thoughts were narcissistic thoughts. I was thinking about my own pain. I was thinking about my own, something I wanted to say, or I was thinking about my projects. Oh, when I finish this, it'll make this money, and then I'll be super cool. Just imagining the next step on the project that I'm working on at the time, and so that's been a mind blow. That just generally, I've kind of noticed this slow decline in my ADHD symptoms and my ability to be present with the people around me, which is such a gift. I spent so much of my life focusing on making tons of money and millions and building big businesses and all this stuff. And now I can just sit quietly with the people I love and they can feel loved. And it's pretty special. So, yeah, this is just some thoughts I've been having, and I don't know how long the restitution phase takes. I mean, if we say that the old saying is that for every one positive interaction, or sorry, one negative interaction, you need 5 positive interactions to counteract the negative one. Well, if I've spent 2 years hurting people, then maybe I've got 10 years of being in this restitution phase. I don't know. I'll keep you in the loop on how it goes. But that's all I want to share today. I hope that somebody out there finds this helpful. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. See ya.